It's past time to expose the Democrats and Republicans for usurping liberty and freedom. What you are about to hear is the amalgam of passion and truth. This is the Southern Liberty Radio Show. Good evening. Happy Friday to all Liberty defenders of the world. Welcome to that one place we call Southern Liberty. I appreciate everybody hanging out with us this evening. On a little bit of a delay, but it's gonna catch itself up. It's gonna catch itself up. And do all the things that we do best. And then that person that y'all, if you're on the video tubes, the person next to me over here, this over yonder, she showed up for us tonight. So Miss Cal, appreciate you as always.
Yeah, I showed up all right.
Did you show up to show out?
When do I not?
Okay, all right. Look, you got it. With
No,
you now.
seriously, it was bad last weekend, so I took the night off so that I could take my muscle relaxers and sleep.
Muscle relaxers. You ain't supposed to tell them that now the DEA coming to your door.
I'll let them. It's all prescribed. I don't do illegals.
I mean, look, all I'm saying is that, you know, you might have the DEA show up with ice that's going to sell you some ice. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean.
Well, you know, the thing is all I have to do is call down in Texas and say, "Hey, Unc, what's your boys doing here at my door?"
I'm just saying. I mean, I'll be second question. I ask him, how'd you get ice from Hawaii all the way to South Carolina? How you getting all that though?
And why would they come this time of year when it's cold as hell?
I mean,
if you're looking for a vacation, don't come anywhere near here right now.
Look, I'm just saying they might be wanting to relieve their supply. I mean,
you never know. You never know. You know.
I know that's right. How things in South Carolina though? How they know? How they doing?
It's good down here.
Okay.
Henry gave our Governor McMaster gave his final State of the State address. I believe it was Wednesday night.
That was Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah, and state's looking good. We'll see what happens with this gubernatorial election coming up here in a few months, and go from there. It's a hot mess. We've got a lot of candidates on both sides of the aisle.
That's not a hot mess, honey. That's a whole witch's cauldron. Like,
yeah, it is. Look, I keep saying, let's go, Alan Wilson. Come on, baby, let's go.
Yeah, well, all right. Yeah, all right.
I do not want to see Nancy Mace as our governor. I'm sorry, I just don't.
Man, look,
that child has some issues.
See, look, that child got some issues, but look. In some instances, I look as far as like her demeanor is concerned. Look, she mixed a little bit of that Southern with a little bit of that Trump, and
it turns out a lot of bit obnoxious.
Look. Right now, obnoxious should be a semi-norm, right? Considering the shit we're looking at right now politically.
I can't. You're wrong on that. I really can't. Considering what we're looking at.
I mean, if she gonna sit there at the podium talking mad shit, like.
Okay, but there's a difference between talking mad shit and acting mad shit. When you go through the Charleston airport and act a fool, and then blame the police for it, that's a problem.
Look. Those are those are folks that don't know like the Nancy Mace. Like she spent a little bit of time in Georgetown.
Yeah,
even though she went to Citadel and she's this prim and proper soldier kind of. She spent some time in Georgetown. Those y'all that know Georgetown, South Carolina, that hood though.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
That's the hood though.
A little rough. It's like Jasper County compared to Hilton Head.
Right.
And I live in Jasper County, for those of y'all who don't know. It's the hood compared to Hilton Head, trust me.
Yeah. I mean, Georgetown, that hood though.
Georgetown a little rough.
Ain't it though? But anyway, I mean, I get your point. I understand you though, but I mean, I could use a good
I know. Look, at this point, we could all use a good laugh.
I know that's the truth. I know that's the truth. I want to shout out as we got special guests this evening, and
Mhm.
before we get there, we got to shout out them peoples,
Oh,
right? With,
absolutely.
with them peoples up
Can't
there in
forget our
South
people.
Georgia, from Glenn County, Camden County, Ware County, Homer County, in the
Mhm.
building. City of Jessup. I see
Yep.
y'all on the map up here. I
Y'all ain't far
appreciate
from
you.
me.
Not at all. I see y'all. All y'all across there, Thomasville, Georgia. I see you, local radio out there in that piece. Now I'm gonna go ahead and slide on out west as I always do. That Juab County, Salt
Mhm.
Lake County, Davis County, Weber County, Utah County. Appreciate y'all listening this evening. Um,
Always.
as always. Um, and again, we're still expanding. We're still expanding. We got a little niche of public radio, but we're gonna expand. We trying to grow every day, but 5'10" and 3/4". I've been here since I was freaking 12 years old. I haven't grown in it since 12. 12 years old. I'm 5'10" and 3/4". I ain't grown since.
Poor
Seriously,
baby.
probably should have been 6'7". Seriously, probably should have been 6'7", but I stopped growing 7th grade. Boop, cap.
It's that whole being opinionated thing, it stunts your growth.
Maybe I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Look, I, I,
Hell,
I,
I'm
ain't,
5'7", so,
I ain't got nothing for you, man.
I know, right? Been here since I was 12.
Anyway, look, we're gonna go ahead and get this young man in here real quick,
Yes, sir.
because I know he got a whole lot to say and a whole lot to do and all that good stuff, and I think he's gonna do a lot of good for the
I think
good
so.
old people of California, because I mean they are lackluster and appropriate. They have representation, but it's not appropriate. No, everybody's sitting back saying, "What California? What the hell is California doing suddenly?" Well, look, this gentleman that we're gonna pull up here, he's
Yep.
from the South, South California. So
Yeah,
the South got to represent the South at all times. I don't care
absolutely.
where you at, South Side, whatever, all that. What we represent that. You know what I'm saying? But real talk, you already know what the game is on here, right? During this time of year, we always try to interview political candidates,
Mhm.
all that good stuff, get their voices out there and do the things. Because look, uh, 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 they call it lamestream media. I just call it neglectful media.
Yes.
Don't want you to see the people that are running against the establishment or any of that. But you know darn well we are not only we anti-establishment, we're anti-statist. So
Yeah.
that kind of goes hand in hand with the whole agenda, right? Now, those of you are asking who's this cat from Southern California. I learned of him as he's some salty guy, some salty rainbow guy. Like,
Mhm.
who the hell is this salty rainbow guy? Like, what are
Yeah.
we doing here? Like, and I listened to him, oh, this guy's kind of legit. He's
Yeah.
doing the things, I'm like, he's saying the things. And I'm like, okay, he's doing the things up in here. So anyway, right, we're talking about Mr. Andrew Lawson. He's a San Diego native who understands the value of hard work, right? Typical American that them pulling themselves up by bootstraps and 2x4s and all that kinds of crap, right? These are the true Americans I like to talk to, right? Because not all of us had that spoon in our mouths, right? We had to come from. You can't imagine still being in the 21st century and still having to come from nothing after everything's been built, but you
Yeah.
almost come from nothing to get to something and then use that something as a vehicle to create something bigger than yourself, right? And that, my friends, is the American spirit. That is the American way, right? Now, our lovely person we're going to bring on here, he earned his master's in education, became a substitute teacher,
Mhm.
right? And then he saw some things wrong with the system that I think all of us kind of agree with or see different ways. But him being on the inside, seeing things a little bit differently, right? Then when the system turned on him in 2021, right? Unlike most people in the education profession, right?
Mhm.
They tuck tail and they just caught up to their education masters. This individual said, "Nah, fuck that. We ain't doing this today." So he basically went a different direction. Got out of that, went a different direction, became an advocate for that, all that good stuff. Right. This individual is running for Assembly District 79 in the good old state of California, which covers San Diego, etc. And I'll let him explain that because I don't know how the boundaries are in California, because I know my boundaries in Florida. I know where they're at, almost down to street level. I know where they're at.
Yep.
Right.
And I know the ones here in South Carolina. However, I don't know much about California.
Yeah, we don't know much. That's what he's here for, right?
Yep.
But I applaud him for getting into the arena to do these things, right, and be able to to be a voice in the ocean of sharks.
Yeah.
Right, in California, right, and it takes a lot of gall, it takes a lot of guts to do that.
Yes, it does.
That's by default. Before I even bring him on, you know what I'm saying? He gets mad love from me 100% in that regard, right? But he is running on a platform to eliminate the California state income tax, to deregulate the private industry, and use basically what would be aggressive tax incentives to bring businesses and jobs back to the state, because obviously the big people have left, and it's left a big huge tax gap. It's a mess. But anyway, I'm gonna let him tell it. I'm gonna let him tell it to you, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce you to my friend, very 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 good friend, Mr. Andrew Lawson. Welcome to the Southern Liberty, sir. Welcome, kind sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. How are you both?
Doing well.
I'm still, hold on. I'm gonna chunk a coffee grenade. Hold on a minute.
He's got to catch up on his caffeine a little.
You ain't gonna be up all night with that coffee, dude? Like, seriously.
No, dude.
I mean, I know it's Friday, but
I can drink a whole pot of coffee, all 12 cups, and go out 5,000.
Yeah.
My dad's the same way. I'll be up all night though if I start drinking coffee after 5 o'clock. No, it's not gonna work out.
So Lord, with me, there would be a path between here and the bathroom going pee to fight everything.
I'm glad the bathroom's closed for me at work, because I'll drink it all day at work, but I gotta
go. So how's everything there in Southern California, honey?
You know, honestly, it's better than I expected it to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because if everybody remembers last year in 2025, there was a restaurant down here in San Diego that got raided by ICE.
Yes, I remember that.
I know it's an Italian type of place, but I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head. It was in an area called South Park.
Mm-hmm.
And we found out later, you know, the gentleman had his business listed as a nonprofit, and he had 12 illegal aliens working there at like $5 an hour for 12 hours a day, no breaks, nothing.
Wow.
Right? And this was one of the first things that popped off, right? I don't know how these people at this time, I didn't know how these people even knew that ICE was there in order to create a crowd the way that they did and push back on them.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the last that I remember seeing something this big in San Diego, because next we saw LA.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody started focusing on, was the riots in LA that were going on. So 2026, it's better than than I can expect, but there's a lot of things that are going on hidden in the shadows. San Diego is one of the leading distributors for methamphetamine. It's a huge hub for human trafficking.
Yeah.
We have the border right here. I am probably 20-25 minutes from the border itself.
Yeah.
You know, so I guess it's better. Like I said, it's just better than I would expect it to be right now. But that's probably because I'm going to guess that ICE is, and the administration is saving San Diego for a little bit later.
Yeah, I was going to ask if it might be the calm before the storm.
I would think so.
Oh boy.
Absolutely.
Hang on to your suspenders there, folks. I mean, because well, I mean, look at what's going on in Minneapolis right now, and what was occurring in Portland, Maine. Chicago has been kind of on the down low lately. I would assume that operations are still going on there. Ice activities have been going on down in this area, down in Savannah and across Beaufort County, which is next door to us. But they've been low key here. The police departments and sheriff's departments and everybody else have agreements with ICE to work directly with them. So that's a big difference.
Yeah. Unfortunately, San Diego has very liberal city council, very liberal. I mean, it's a 3-2 board for the Board of Supervisors.
Yeah,
and they do have sanctuary
policies. Yeah,
right? Because there's no such thing as a sanctuary city.
No,
nothing. It doesn't.
No, it's not legal at the federal level. Certainly.
Nope. But I mean, sure, you can pull back your resources, and you can not assist the federal government in carrying out these operations. But the federal government doesn't have to give you money either.
Right.
True. Very true.
I mean, that's just, you don't play that game, right?
Exactly. I've gone to the Board of Supervisors meetings a couple times and let them know it's like, you guys are just stupid. Like, you're literally stupid.
Right.
You're bitching that you have no money. You can fully fund a pride parade.
Yeah.
And you're going to cut medical insurance for people, and you're threatening to cut SNAP benefits for people, but you're funding all the wrong shit.
What's been the response on that?
I don't get responses from them. They don't respond to me at all.
I wonder why.
but you know what? Because
that's a response in itself, though.
Look. I'm the king of petty, especially when it comes to elected people. Yeah. You give me the snub now, and if I get elected, who you again?
So that's the appearance, right? Like everything's like calm right now, That's the appearance. Politically, right? Funding wise, I just got irritated last week because the Board of Supervisors put an agenda item for the area that I live in. I sit on the Spring Valley Community Planning Group.
Okay.
And this is a mechanism of CEQA, the California Environmental environmental bullshit. Okay. So I sit on this board, and we got asked to write in that you support this line item from the Board of Supervisors.
Okay.
I'm not just going to write that I support it. I'm going to go read it. Every single document talked about Spring Valley and flooding that occurred in Spring Valley in 2024. We're talking about $15 million of funding. Why is $12.5 million in the line item for Spring Valley? Why is it being allocated to the Tijuana River Valley crisis?
That doesn't make any sense.
Wait,
actually, it does. It will. Yeah. Go ahead, Rob.
So here's the thing, right? So that particular line item, right? Now, I guess the first question I always ask, because these municipal budgets are stupid, when it comes to things like this, was this one of those funds that was created as per se maybe a rainy day fund that they could use discretionary, but they can still change the name on it and move the money around? Is it one of those kind of situations, or are they actually funding this fund for that and then trying to move the money to somewhere else?
So when I read the documentation behind it, it's talking about grants that they've applied for and they've secured $15 million. As far as like money that's in a rainy day fund, I'm not even sure, because as far as I'm aware, San Diego is they're already dipping into their rainy day fund.
Yeah, right. They've been dipping into it for a while, as far as I know.
Is like, is this fund? So let me back up and kind of clarify a little bit, right? So this fund that you're saying is going to eventually go to the Tijuana, right? Is it in the same fund, or is it a completely separate fund from the Tijuana River Fund?
Yeah, I think I hear what you're saying. So it's money allocated for crises.
So like emergency management, basically, part of emergency management budget for the city.
Mm-hmm. My biggest issue with it is, again, it's just that it talks about Spring Valley and the flooding that occurred. It doesn't talk about the Tijuana River Valley. It doesn't give any background on what caused the sewage to spew over from Tijuana into the beaches of San Diego.
Yeah.
Right. So
that's my problem with it.
So you know what's probably happened, right? On the down low, right? The Tijuana River, whatever that, it's probably its own separate item, but it's in the same fund that you would use for Spring Valley for their disaster. So only thing they say, oh, it's for Spring Valley. No, wait, we got to move it to use it for Tijuana. Bet you that's what they did, and they combined it in the same fund with two different names.
For me, it's a transparency thing, though, Ron.
Right.
An absolute
100%.
lack of transparency in it. If they had a separate agenda item specifically dedicated to the Tijuana River Valley crisis, I don't think I'd have a problem. I know Paloma Aguirre ran on solving this problem. She was the mayor of Imperial Beach, which it really did affect her.
It really did affect them, yeah.
Yeah. So I get it. It's a transparency thing.
Right.
Well, and my question is you said they labeled it as for a crisis.
So
not that crisis, a crisis.
Right. So, but see,
anything can be labeled a crisis.
Right. So that's how that fund works. Right. And the best example I give a lot of times is, like when you do a municipal budget, right? Let's just say road and bridge, right? And I know, my friend Tricia said the same thing as an example, right? When you have road and bridge in your budget, they budget for each bridge to fall and to rebuild it.
Yeah.
Right. So that's how they budget for that. So that crisis, right, is probably kind of the same thing, right? They've already budgeted for a crisis, whatever crisis that may be. They can name it whatever crisis they want and move that money in that position. Now, to your point, Andrew, right? Transparency is everything. Why are you allocating this to here when you initially said it's supposed to go here?
Yeah.
Right. That's the bullshit in itself, right? You should tell the people, hey, we're going to move this money around. And personally, I think it should be public notice, not just done willy-nilly. It should be public notice. Hey, we're moving it here.
Well,
because we got to solve this problem here.
Yeah.
Right? And
unallocated funds within a fund are a nightmare for the tax-paying public, because we don't know what's been allocated to where until well after the fact. And 15 million, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for them to be able to say, oh, well, this is a crisis, and this is a crisis, and this is a crisis. And none of it goes to what it was originally proposed as.
Yep.
So, yeah, absolutely, I'd hammer down on that. Oh, my God.
Yeah. And, that's not the only thing that we're dealing with right now in California either, right? That's just San Diego.
Yeah.
And the board of supervisors. I mean, we're the assembly, which is what I'm running for, just voted for a mileage tax.
Yeah.
They want to charge you for the miles that you drive.
Yep.
So if I drive a gas car, I already pay a gas tax.
You pay a gas tax. Yeah. You pay an excise tax. Yeah. 100%.
Well, and don't you guys also pay property taxes on your vehicles every year?
You said property taxes, right? They describe it as a registration fee, but yes.
Well, it's the same thing, but it's a property tax.
I agree.
That's what it is here.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's Democrats run on affordability all the time here in California. Every 2 years.
Affordability of what? How soon before they're charging you for the air you breathe? And I'm not actually playing on that. There are people who are talking about doing that, a breathing tax or an air tax. There are literally people here in the U.S. who want to tax people for the air they breathe.
What's that other board we have out here? CARB, California Air.
Yeah.
Resource Board, I think it is.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, okay.
So
affordability is the big one. Okay. How does that dovetail in with what you're running on as far as reducing the personal what is it? The personal income tax, taking that down to 0? How does that dovetail in?
Well, that would be the goal, right? It's going to
Okay.
take a lot of work to get there.
Mhm.
We're gonna have to cut some spending out of some programs that we don't need, right? The current administration in Sacramento is funding illegal immigrants' lawyers' fees. This is
Yeah.
unnecessary. Transgender surgeries and things like this, right? You know, policies that the state should absolutely support, right? Like the ICE, getting criminals out of the state. Schools, literally, a boy is a boy and a girl is a girl, right?
Mhm.
These are common sense things. You end these
You think.
policies and the funding from the federal government starts to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't want to do that because they don't want to piss off their 1%.
Okay, but their 1% is fading, is it not? The ones with the money especially.
Yes, that's a different 1%, right? The millionaires are moving out.
Yes, they
Wealth
are.
tax. Let's get the billionaires or the millionaires to pay a wealth tax.
Yeah.
Now on your home, that's $1 million. You're paying, I mean, what, $100,000 every year?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They tuck-tailed and ran. 8,000 millionaires tuck-tailed and ran out of California.
Yeah.
Rolled out like an Autobot too.
Rolled out to places like Miami and
call me
Hilton
Optimus
Head
Prime.
and Johns Island and
You know where 6,000 of them went to?
Texas.
They went to Florida.
And
went to Florida. Yeah. There's quite a few that popped up in the Miami area. There's quite a few more who popped up in the Charleston to Hilton Head area. Kiowa Island and Johns Island and Hilton Head. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
We've got a few out here that moved from California.
I want to get down to where you came from, right? Because again, you know, the great American story, as I call it, right? Because your story from reading it is like that great American story, right?
It is.
So I want to go back to 2021, right? When you had mentioned that the system had turned on you, right? Clarify that for me. Like, what was the experience, right, in that, and what specifically motivated you to move basically from the classroom to candidate for state legislature?
Yeah.
Sure. Obviously, you know, we're going back to 2021, right? We all know that the Biden administration was in, mask mandates, the vaccine threat was coming along, right? They were going to mandate this vaccine on all of us.
Yeah.
And I think they'd already implemented and started doing it to the military.
Yes.
You know, so there was these threats around. And I noticed that in Northern California, like Chico Valley and I think Shasta County and some other areas up north, they started to lax their policies that the state had wanted them to do.
Okay.
They didn't care if the state was going to come in and shut them down. They were going to open it back up anyways, even if they had to go to some other parent's house to educate their kids and then go on Zoom with the teacher.
Yeah.
They were willing to do all of this. And so I was student teaching to earn my credential, which, mind you, there were tons of teachers that were student teaching in 2020 who just got a free pass for the rest of their student teaching experience and were awarded their degrees and their credentials. So I was student teaching in Ramona, which is a very conservative area in San Diego. I mean, they're literally up in the mountains. I think Ramona means helping hand, if you break that down.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So I had talked to a couple of parents, and they said, you know, the vice principal, she lives right here in the community. You should talk to her. And so I went to talk to her and just asked her, like, is there anything that we can do to fight the state on this? This is ridiculous. I'm noticing that these kids are coming in from lunch or their recess or their PE, and they're falling asleep afterward. Why is this happening? Hypoxia came to my mind.
Yeah.
Kids need oxygen to breathe, for their brain to grow.
And they were masked constantly. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yep.
They're not getting a full dose of oxygen the way they deserve. Right?
No.
That should literally be a human right. And why it wasn't spelled out in the Constitution is beyond me. Like, I think, I don't think the founding fathers even thought that one day somebody would say, no, you can't breathe oxygen.
Like, right.
It is in the Constitution.
I think so, but I think it is there. Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and what's life? What's necessary for life?
Not even that. Let's go away from that. Ninth Amendment.
You're right, right? Yeah. But people don't pay attention to the Ninth Amendment, do they?
Nope. Not a lick. Because those
anything that's not spelled out here, it's a right.
It is reserved to the people, right?
Exactly.
It's reserved to the people. That's it. There's no state involved. It's reserved to the people. That's it. The 10th Amendment is the same thing, but it's for the states.
Yeah. So
anyway,
I talked to that vice principal, and I went on. It was a Friday. I went home, and I think that Monday, my school was calling me and saying, "Hey, the district called, and they don't want you going back." And I said, "Okay." So let's go on to another school. And the school, my Grand Canyon University, I hate to call them out like this, but they dropped the ball after that. There was no fight for like, hey, we're going to get you into another school to finish out your student teaching. It was, well, there's not a lot of other schools that are taking student teachers right now, especially online student teachers that we have agreements with. And so we're recommending that you just, take your degree and go. And I said, I think we're going to do that. And I'm going to be honest, just like Hillary cried for a few days after 2016, after the election, then I cried. This was my career goal.
I don't blame you.
I never went into it for money. I went in it for the joy of teaching and watching children's, like the light bulb just turn on when they understood something.
Yeah.
That's what I went into it for. I had an IEP growing up.
Yeah.
And now I have a master's degree in education.
Yeah.
This was my passion. And people wouldn't fight with me because they were too scared the state was going to shut them down. And that's, so that got me out of that. I went into the casino industry, and, I really had to take a step back from politics. I didn't understand at that time what was going on with, some of us think that the election in 2020 was stolen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand how, we could just allow something that's sacred to just be stolen and do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Right. So I had to take a step back from politics and really just focus on myself. What do I want to do? Now that I'm not teaching, what do I want to do? I was working as a cage cashier, and apparently I was good at that because within 3 months of starting at the casino, where you usually need 6 months experience, right? I was being asked to move into the inside of the casino and work in the vault.
Okay.
So I got promoted pretty quickly. Within a couple more months, I was training other cashiers out on the floor.
Nice.
And another 6 months later, I had a supervisor that I was her supervisor back when I worked at McDonald's. Mm-hmm. And she moved up to a supervisor of revenue audit. And in a month of her being up there, she said, "Hey, I got a position that's opening up. I'd like you to apply for it."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay." And it took a little bit of time for it to open up. And I said, "Okay, so it's revenue audit. What do I know about this? I have a math background with a master's in education, emphasizing in mathematics. So what do I do, right? Let's go back to school. I'm a lifelong educator. Let's go back to school."
Nothing wrong with that.
I went to a little I went to a little online thing and I paid $100 for a 3-month subscription to something called Sophia Learning.
Yeah.
SOPHIA.
Yep.
And I looked at where the credits would be able to transfer. And one of them was Southern New Hampshire University. And so I looked into the degree program for accounting. All the general education classes and everything that went behind that, I didn't need to take any of those. So with Sophia, I think it was 4 classes that I took with Sophia that I was able to complete pretty quickly, and transferred those credits over there as well. Saved myself $4,000 very easily. Yeah,
it's not bad at all.
I went in at the end of February. I'm going to have another bachelor's in accounting.
There you go. That's what's up.
And last year, I knew that this schooling was going to come to an end, and what do I do? Right in 2024, I got a letter from one of the Republican caucus members down here saying, "Hey, there's positions open that nobody's running for. You should put your name in."
Yeah.
And so at the very last day, I ran down to the voter registrar's office. I got off work early, and put my application to be on the community planning group. And there was only 7 of us out of 8 seats that did this. So every single one of us got appointed with no election.
Wow.
It's sad. This actually happens a lot.
Yeah, and this is what I was going to say. That's really sad because there are so many, and these are county level positions, these are town level positions, and nobody ever even hears about it.
Nope.
And if they don't hear about it, they don't know to run for it. Or if they hear about it, they think, "Oh, well, I'm not good enough to do that. I don't have the qualifications to do that."
If you got a pulse,
you've got the qualifications to do it. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what the founders intended, right? I mean, when I ran for my zoning and planning commission seat, I ran unopposed. There wasn't a single person that stepped up. Like, I'm just like, okay, let's do the business. But I get it. More people need to be involved in their local body of politics, right? Because that's where liberty is stolen from. It ain't stolen from anywhere else. No, it's stolen locally, local level. And it's stolen from, on the state level. Federal level ain't gonna steal your liberty. They don't have the authority to take it from you.
No.
But let the news and let all these other pundits tell you, "Oh, the federal government, they're gonna do this to you." Under whose authority? Right? COVID, right? I say it all the time. I bring up the example of COVID, right? Same example. Was it Donald Trump that took your liberty, or was it your governor that took your liberty, and down to your board of commissioners and your mayors took your liberty? Trump didn't do that.
Nope.
There was no mandate from the federal government. None.
No. And they couldn't do it anyway.
They couldn't do it.
Have the constitutional authority to do it. So
no, it was literally like your parks and recreation. This is another position, right?
Oh yeah.
This is another elected position that people don't run for, and the counties end up appointing them. The parks and recreation, whoever that person is, they're the ones that shut down parks in 2020.
Right. Yeah.
And who shut down the beaches? Gavin Newsom did?
Nope. Parks and recreation.
He put sand in the
skate parks.
God, the skate parks. Yeah. I would fall off a skateboard. So
I haven't been on a skateboard in so long. I wouldn't know which end to turn.
Right.
I think I learned to ollie one time, and I didn't do very well. So yeah, I just never got back on.
You put the board away. I do got another question to ask you though, Andrew. It kind of leading away. It kind of intertwined, right? Because you had, again, you mentioned about abolishing the income tax. Right now, I can't recite California's Constitution to save my life. I'm having a blonde moment, so I'll ask the first part of the question: is your personal income tax statutory or constitution? Do you know
that it would be an answer that I would have to get back to you on.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. I can't remember either. I know.
I don't recall it being in the Constitution.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't. What's in the Constitution? What's in the Declaration of Rights at the beginning of our Constitution, though, is that the government must ask us to increase the taxes.
Right,
Yeah.
that's correct. Yes.
This
So
is why you guys have your propositional
yeah.
input as far as the ballots go.
So let me ask you this, right? Because California's budget is heavily dependent on that personal income tax, which sucks because that anyway, that's a discussion for another day. If no, let's don't say if. I'm sorry, I don't like if statements. When you eliminate it, because you are getting in office, when you eliminate it, how do you propose that the state funds essential services without simply shifting the tax burden somewhere else?
The weed money. Why not the weed money?
That's a good point. Yeah.
That's only one revenue source is the weed money.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of money that comes from that.
Revenue? Let me check what the weed revenue. Go ahead with your answer. I'm gonna check what the weed revenue is.
That's fascinating because that's actually a damn good idea.
I don't think it nearly meets the $130 billion a year that we get from income tax.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a very close second to the income tax.
Okay, but if you look at it though, your income tax revenue has been falling year over year with the people leaving the state. So that's going to make itself up.
So let me break in. In 2025, they estimated $45 billion in weed revenue. In California.
That's quite a chunk of change.
Let me double check that because that sounds crazy. That sounds like a crazy number considering California, Colorado. Who else sells weed? Florida,
New York.
Hold on. Let me. But anyway, go ahead. I'm gonna cross reference this real quick.
But keep in mind.
I appreciate that because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have all the answers. I'm one dude, and I don't want to have an agenda going into this either.
No, and I don't blame you.
About me. This is about representing the people.
Yeah.
And one thing that I could do as a state legislature is work with other people that would work to eliminate the income tax. It's not going to happen right away. Completely honest, right? We have to cut spending across the board.
Yeah.
We can't be funding pride parades.
Yeah.
We can't do it.
Yeah.
That should be nonprofit. I mean, there's plenty of nonprofits.
Well, and that was my assumption, was that most of the pride parades nationally were funded privately. I didn't think that the cities had anything to do with it, but I found out I was wrong on that. Because a lot of the major cities do help fund those. And I'm just floored by that. I mean, hell, you can't have a city-funded St. Patrick's Day parade, but by God, you can have a pride parade and have city funds all over it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of what the funding is like, funding for local law enforcement and things like that to, to let the parade go on and all that. Yeah. But I still don't think that, if you're going to ask for law enforcement to watch your parade or whatever, I think you should be able to pay for it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Justin actually put a good suggestion in here too. Taxation on vineyards.
Why not?
Yeah. So
add that into the weed money.
So I'm looking here. The weed money, they're talking it's like 1.1 billion based on the excise tax.
Low.
That's low. Awfully low.
Yeah, for them, because they actually raised the excise tax on weed to 17%, and then 17%. So even still, right? That's a little bit of revenue, right? But
we are going to have to do other things, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah.
100%. If you read one of Congress's bills, that would be like the model for this, right? We're talking about increasing the sales tax a little bit, right? But if you're keeping more of your income,
and that would be part of the course. Yeah.
You can increase the tax on luxury items.
Mm-hmm.
You buy a Lamborghini. I'm sorry, you're gonna pay a little bit of extra tax on that.
and I'm with you on that, right?
Yeah.
I'm with you with that 100%, right? Because if you have that kind of money to buy a luxury item, you can pay the tax that comes with it.
Yeah.
100%, right? Because these billionaires, they're not going to do without their toys.
Well,
you know what I mean? They're not going to. They want to flash their cash. You know what I mean? So let's
okay,
go,
but
right?
let's be honest here. With the way the taxation is going in California, how many billionaires are there going to be left to buy Lamborghinis? I mean, if we're completely honest, half of them have moved out of the damn state in the last 30 days.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
And you've got businesses closing up, major businesses closing up left and right down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I think that it could work. I think that the reducing the income tax down to 0 could work, but I think it's going to have to be shunted off into other places, and it's the other places that really matter. Because if you're going to shunt it off into your vehicle registration fees, which I'm sorry, that's a property tax.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to shunt it into actual property taxes for homes, gas taxes, food taxes, because damn good and well that's going to go up.
Thank God we don't have a tax on food out here. We don't have a tax on food. Thank God.
Wait.
That's not just wait.
Just
right.
wait.
Just wait. Listen. A lot of what they're doing, they're getting away with increasing these taxes. You're absolutely right. But they call it a fee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to redefine. It's the left redefine shit all the time.
Yeah.
Why can't I define a fee as a tax?
Yeah.
And give the voter the chance to vote. Balboa Park.
And not obfuscate the point. Mm-hmm. Give them exactly what it's a tax. It's not a fee.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Give them the truth.
So Balboa Park, San Diego Zoo, the San Diego Zoo. We've had free parking in Balboa Park for 100 years.
Yeah.
And the city was able to vote. The city council was able to vote and implement a parking fee. It now costs $8 to park for 4 hours and $16 to park all day long.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Balboa Park and the museums there are going to suffer. They're already projecting 50% in revenue loss. 50% from last year. Billions of dollars gone.
Damn shame.
And if the voter would have had a chance to vote on it,
it would have been a no.
The voter would have said no.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. That's
you're pricing people out of basically low cost entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
You're also pricing them out of educational opportunities with the museums involved.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and with the zoo involved. I mean, my God, we spent more time at the zoos and oceanic centers than anywhere else when Connor was little. Because he's an ocean kid. He was always fascinated. He wanted to be a marine biologist. So every chance we got, we went to the oceanic centers and that. They're up in the Chicago area. So yeah, I mean, you're pricing people out of low cost entertainment options and educational options.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just with the parking.
I'm reading Justin's comments and then this tsunami guy. You guys are all awesome. Look, Justin, you're absolutely right. Prepared food is taxed. You are right about that. There's a sales tax on that. You are right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's one of those things, if you don't want to pay it, cook at home, which is cheaper anyways. I can make a meal for myself for the next 5 days on the amount on $20.
Yeah.
But it takes time that, people in California, if you're having to work 2 or 3 jobs to make ends meet, you don't have time to be cooking for yourself. And it's sad.
No, you don't. You don't. No, but Tasmanian Revel is our comedian, our resident comedian.
Tasmanian. I read that wrong. Completely wrong.
He's our California comedian.
It's actually so funny.
Justin is also there in California. So
my grandmother, God rest her soul, Mexican lady born in Tucson, Arizona. Her parents moved out to California to Redondo Beach when she
Yeah.
was little. She had a nickname for me, and so you just brought that up for me. My nickname was Duke. I was a Duke.
Cool.
Yeah, I was a Duke in her eyes.
I love it. That's cool. Tucson's a beautiful place, though. Great people out there.
I think California is a beautiful place.
My
It ran right.
yeah, and my mother was really funny about that. My grandfather was a Marine, and he passed several years ago. But he ended up out at San Diego, the Marine Corps recruiting station in San Diego. And she did her senior year of high school at Pomona.
Okay.
And she had always told us, I didn't want to leave. I wanted to stay in California when I married your dad. She said, but we couldn't afford it even then.
Mm.
And that was in
Yeah.
68. I can't imagine that it's improved any over the past, 58 years? Almost 60 years?
Yeah, the unfortunate part is, like I said, the Democrats run on lowering the cost of living, lowering the cost of electricity, lowering rent prices, this, that, the third. And every 2 years, it's the same campaign promises from the Democrats here. And rent's expensive, more expensive than it was. The cost of food is more expensive than it was. Obviously, your gas is more expensive than it was.
Yeah.
So are they living up to their promises?
Well,
Absolutely not.
no, and I'm curious about something because you were talking also about deregulation as far as businesses were concerned.
Mhm.
How would this help your area in particular when it comes to oil refineries, when it comes to fuel, when it comes to solar and wind energy? And is that actually doing any good in the area, solar and wind? I mean,
I'll tell
is
you,
that actually helping your electrical generation in that area?
San Diego doesn't even get power from anything that we generate here in San Diego. We get our power from Arizona.
Okay.
I learned this
That's what I thought.
back
Okay.
in, I think it was 2013. I learned that our power does not come from SDG&E. Our power comes from Arizona. SDG&E is just the middle guy.
Okay.
Some knucklehead out in Arizona was digging up the power line and cut the power line, and we lost power for 24 hours.
Oh God.
Like,
oh my God.
So as far as the stuff you're bringing up about windmills and all that, I don't think it affects San Diego at all.
Okay.
For that, for me, when it comes to regulation, I'm talking about CEQA, right? And I brought that up before. The California Environmental Quality Agency Act, whatever they refer to. We have these boards like the planning group that I sit on.
Yeah.
Who we give recommendations to our county board of supervisors for businesses and property owners that are trying to do stuff with their property. The problem that I have is that there's no clear process for individuals who want to open up. There's no clear process spelled out for them to be able to open up their business quickly and start making money. I've seen businesses come into our planning group, and because we don't make a recommendation, it sets them back from opening their business that they're ready to open. It sets them back for about a month and a half, and then they got to go to the county board of supervisors if we don't make a recommendation.
Okay.
And that could take them another 15 to 30 days just to get on the agenda for the board of supervisors. So now we're talking 2.5 months just to get your business open.
Huh.
We need more clear processes for these businesses to be able to open up.
Yeah.
And less environmental regulations.
And I would assume that's a major part of it.
It is. And that's not the only part about it, right? I mean, we're talking fast food industry, right? If you're labeled as fast food, you're paying $20 an hour for a minimum wage employee. Something that was never meant to be a career. It
No.
was always meant to be for you to get a leg up and get some experience and then move on to something else.
Okay, but does no one understand that $20 an hour minimum wage means that you're gonna be paying at least that much for your damn Big Mac?
Mm-hmm. Do they understand it? I understand it. Do they understand it? I'm not sure. You know, I think a lot of people do understand it. I mean, but these politicians don't care about that. They care about they care about telling the people that they did something fantastic, right? So they're going to show them, hey, look, we got the $20 an hour passed by this non-elected board that the governor appointed, right? Or the city council here in San Diego. They just voted hospitality workers $25 an hour. You work at a hotel, you're going to make $25 an hour.
Where do I sign up?
Right. I have a degree. I make $28.70 an hour with my degree.
Yeah.
Somebody could go work as a janitor at a hotel.
Yeah.
In downtown San Diego.
Cleaning rooms, yeah.
$25 an hour.
It gets really insane when you think about it, because it's like, I'm sorry. Even when I was working construction, and I was making pretty damn good money back in the day. Even now you wouldn't be working that much and getting paid that much.
My mom tells me all the time about minimum wage when she was young. I think it was 70 cents when she started working.
Back then, yeah.
And on that 70 cents, she would work full time.
Yep.
At a motel.
Yeah.
Cleaning rooms. Her parents instilled a lot of like, pay your bills on time.
Yeah.
Get good credit. She was able, on that 70 cents, she was able to buy her first Volkswagen and get it paid off pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And these were things that, that she tried to instill on me, but when she had me and my sister, and then my dad and the business that she was working for started to go under, right?
Yeah.
The chip manufacturing stuff was moving out of the United States. She would get her hours would get cut at work, and she would get put on a work share program.
Yeah. You're basically sharing hours with another person, alternating schedules and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was growing up, I didn't, she tried to give us the best life possible.
Yeah.
She never wanted to tell us no. So I didn't learn the same financial responsibility that I think she learned from her parents.
Yeah.
Because it was difficult for everybody.
Oh yeah, it was. Like growing up in the 70s and 80s, yeah. You figure I was one of those kids that I never worked for a minimum wage job. I started out as a carpenter's apprentice and moved up from there. But even then I wasn't making a whole hell of a lot of money. It was $7 to $8 an hour. It wasn't a lot. But it was a hell of a lot more than my friends were making in high school. They were, I think the average in North Carolina at that point was $3.50 an hour minimum wage. And most of them were working for minimum wage.
Right.
So it's one of those things where minimum wage is not supposed to be a living wage. It's supposed to be a start. I've never understood why $20 and $25 an hour is supposed to be a minimum wage. It's not. That's what a skilled laborer gets.
And it's really unfair for people who went to school.
Well, it's really unfair for people who have been in an industry for 30 years, and that's what they're making.
Yeah.
And it's unfair to the employer, because then they've got employees who have been there for 25, 30 years, making $25, $28 an hour. What are they supposed to tell them?
Right.
And how long before that business goes out of business because they can't afford to pay employees?
Yeah. So I don't want to like cut this interview short, but I will be transparent on my mom. My mom had knee surgery last May that we didn't know she was going to get approved for. And she had that knee surgery done. And now recently her back has started to bother her. So if we could wrap it up a little bit, because she is she needs help a lot right now.
Yeah.
No, you're fine. You ain't got to explain.
We understand completely.
You ain't got to explain. So we'll end here, but I got to get you. I got to get at you because we've been kind of serious for a bit on that. So I got to hit you, right? So we're gonna do this quick. You ready? You don't look ready. Are you ready? You ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. Describe yourself in one word.
Independent.
Oh, okay.
I like that one.
What's your go-to comfort food there in San Diego?
California fries.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. San Diego or Sacramento?
Anyways.
Sacramento or San Diego? Where's the real heart of California?
The real heart? San Diego's the finest city in California.
Okay. All right.
I can dig that.
Last question. One word to describe the current state of the California budget.
Of the California budget?
Yeah. He said, "I got nothing, bro."
Yeah.
Retarded?
Oh.
Perfect word for it.
Hey, now you can't do that, Andrew. That is not.
Yes,
PC.
he can. Yes, he can.
Listen, Rod, we are not on TikTok or YouTube, okay? This is Rumble. There is free speech on Rumble.
And there's free speech here because I say retarded all the time.
What do you mean? Anyway, y'all check my man Andrew out. I got this stuff, finally got the stuff going at the top end up there. Make sure you check him out, Andrew Lawson, 4AD79.com. The number after it, 888-444-8774. You already know what to do. Those you're on Radio Land, appreciate y'all. And I hope y'all always do come back and watch the video version so you can hear all the antics and things going on. And Brother Andrew, thank you for coming through and talking to us, and blessings to your mom and her healing, my brother.
Thank you guys so much. I'll just mention real quick, she went to the doctor today and she got approved for a she got approved for a angioplasty thing. That's not the right word. It's a plasty thing that they're gonna inject in her back and surround her vertebrae. She'll have that done next week, so it should get better for her next week. Link,
cool,
Mr. What is it? Tasmanian, like Rod
Tasmanian
said,
Rebel.
there.
Yeah,
I have my links to my social media up there. You can, if you follow MOJ, I'm also Salty Rainbow on TikTok, and that was a name given to me because I'm just irritated as hell, and I'd like to give some people hope that there's people out here with common sense. So appreciate y'all having me on.
Hey, appreciate you, brother. Andrew. Appreciate everybody tuning in this evening and all that good stuff. And remember, people, before you go, enjoy your weekend. Those that are going to get snowed out and iced out, make sure you stay safe, stay out them streets unless you got to really, really be out there. Remember, love your neighbors, love your family, but ultimately, if you don't love yourself, you can't love anything else. Until next time, y'all, peace and love.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys doing that. I am going to go see if she needs any help. I appreciate you guys 100%. Thank you so much for having me.